to be de-escalated to the District Safer City Index, which then means the cities within the province, they will also be loaded in the District Safer City Index. The whole intention of this is to create a conducive investor climate in the city. And what one would is also intending to achieve with the launch of this particular pilot, firstly, is a Safer City Activation Plan, which is intended that no criminal shall commit crime within EThekwini and leave the city. That activation plan will be linked to the 72-hour activation, which is already in place and a bit popular throughout the country. Then we also be looking at integrated data with all the other stakeholders, but from the SAPS side or from the policing side, part of this integrated data is expected to depict wanted suspects. As they enter cities, they need to be picked up through this particular data. Then this particular pilot or the strategy for the safer city is also presented through the turnaround vision of the South African Police Service, which is the creation of a crime-free climate conducive for economic and social stability. And this particular vision also depicts the vision of South Africa as a country, and mostly captured in the better life for all. The creation of a conducive investor climate and as well as a conducive climate for economic growth also speak to the theme of the turnaround vision, which is on a journey to a safer South Africa. And the turnaround vision also have a value statement. In the value statement of the turnaround vision, we have a value that relates to excellence and innovation in crime prevention, which is why we are now resorting to providing a technological response. In the deliverable description, one of the key deliverables that we are responding to is the creation of safer cities, safer streets, and the reclaiming of public spaces. This deliverable also unpacks into international crime prevention priorities. What you will find second in the deliverable description is the development of a modus operandi strategic analysis center. Through this particular deliverable, in the fusion center of the safer city, you will then be able to do the city modus operandi, and we will then begin to know which modus operandi is applied in the city by criminals, and we will also have a modus operandi database. The last deliverable that talks to this in the turnaround vision is the development of an online policing strategy. And through the online policing strategy, we want to provide for those communities who have relocated from the geographical spatial development into the online spatial framework. The last part, it's the performance management system. I think with the safer city, we intend to introduce an integrated performance management system which will form part and parcel of the Fusion Center, which will then for the first time not only measure the city or the province through crime performance, but it will link the crime performance, the GDP performance of the city, and as well as the overall economic performance of the city. And this is then intended to respond to the policy direction given by the President. Firstly, a radical economic transformation, but secondly, economic recovery plan, which he has recently introduced. And this particular pilot process is going to be extended throughout the country so that we continue throughout. Lastly, I would then like to close the tables with a quote from Kennedy. He who sees the invisible can do the impossible. Thank you.
Siyabonga kakhulu kumkhozi wamaphoyisa kuzo lonke uGeneral Usithole. I will now call the parade commander to march the parade and then we proceed with our program. Over to you, Captain.
Attention! Close! Array, march! Parade move to the right. Right turn!
I will then hand over the podium to my learned friend, DJ Mackenzie, to proceed with the next part of our program. Let us give our parade a big round of applause as they are marching out of the parade. Bengithi ngizozo mama bekikizela. Ngithi ngizozo amakhwela bebuka ubuhle obunje. Amaphoyisa enza izinto zawo. Awuqhubeka nelelo lili mama ngiyakuzwa. Hayi kuzothi mase bebuya ke ngibacele ukuthi banidansele uJerusalem. Over to you.
Sibonga kakhulu ku Lieutenant Colonel Kaba for handling the first portion of the program. It bears significance that the reason we are here today is because EThekwini Municipality joined the UN Habitat Safer Cities program in 1999 and is continually developing strategies to ensure that by 2030 we are all safe to walk in comfort and in safety around our city. But the significance of today and the significance of this being launched here today is that unfortunately the Inc. area leads all of South Africa when it comes to gender-based violence. And this is part of the strategy of turning it around. It all will need partnership between different sectors, community members, and it obviously will be a success because it is something that is being worked towards. And one of the bodies that is working towards this will be giving the message of support. But I will start with the National Community Policing Consultative Forum, and I'd like to ask Mr. Ephraim Homan to please come forward and give his message of support. And just a note to remember that this is being streamed on the South African Police Service social media pages. It is on Twitter and it is on Facebook and it is on YouTube as well, for us to be able to revisit some of the commitments that are being made here today. And for those who are not able to join us physically because of COVID-19 to be able to join the live streaming. But at this point, I'd like to ask Mr. Ephraim Homan to please give his message of support.
Thank you, Program Director. DM, thank you. Thank you, MEC. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, National Commissioner, and all the collective. All protocol is observed. You should not say I did not call you. We are talking about active citizenry in the fight against crime. And we are calling upon the community in blue patrollers to come to the fore. And as I'll be talking, because this is part of our program, MEC, DM, when we launched the community policing strategy, we also launched this program. So today, when we come to this launch, we are saying this is part of an arm that we are bringing as a structure to say, let it come and fight the program, the crime, in terms of our approach in as far as the Safer City program is concerned. So, colleagues, thank you for responding so well. We are aware that one thing is a national SAPS turnaround strategy was also introduced in this country. And we see today, National Commissioner, ever since you came in, you said this is the approach that we are going to use. And we are delivering today on it. Thank you. So as the NCPCF, the structure on behalf of CPFs at national level, we are here today to say we are not standing back. As a structure, we have a mandate to implement effective and efficient priorities to address our communities that are facing crime. So today, it's one of those things that we are doing. We have the NCPCF action plan, which was introduced also with this COVID-19 exercise, where we said, you know, as CPF,
General, good morning. Minister, good morning. And all the generals present. Protocol